Hello, hello. Welcome back to Dongamet channel. We have a mess, as per usual. Some little knife projects on the go. So, I guess that's fairly self-explanatory. It was some kind of dressing blade. It had a blunt tip on it, and it was a full tang with finger choils on this side, so really specifically made to be gripped like so, and for skinning animals. So it had this kind of rounded point on it that I removed. Made, I dare say, a bit of a Gerst influenced profile on that, and otherwise didn't really mess with the blade or the edge or anything much. But yeah, working on this sway back handle in cherry burl. The original tang is way ground down, so the balance point is probably going to be, somewhere about where it should be, I guess. About where this pin is, it would appear. Yeah. It's going to move forward a little bit because of the removal of a lot of this pin material and quite a lot of the cherry burl. So, kind of like a bush cliff idea. We kind of got that pretty much, yeah, most of the way there. And then I got distracted. Well, the old Kershaw fillet knife kept taking a beating, and so the original kind of whatever collar area here that was JB Weld started cracking off. So this is my first experiment with making micarta. You kind of see, right? It was just a piece of old sack material. Hessian, I guess, or whatever it is. Kind of reminds me of a stroopwafel, if you know what that is. But, yeah, cut this piece out. And so I'm going to just load that up with epoxy and then file in and then wrap so that the wrap goes up here onto this, and that'll lock it in. I was also thinking about putting pins. Actually, you know what kind of made me just stop even doing it was, should I go through the trouble of putting pins in here and then wrapping on top of that, or should I just wrap it and wrap onto the collar? Because wrapping onto the collar would probably suffice, but if I want it to be indestructible, I should put pins in. And I have an example of what I mean over here. With this katana that I broke. And before I broke it, I was most of the way to doing this. I hadn't finished cutting and, making the pins flush, or I guess I was going to tap them down and put some little mushroom heads on there. So that was exactly the same principle. In order to secure this bolster to the handle such that there's no way for it to come off, because the profile of this blade continues under here, as it were. So it's very strong, basically. But yeah, then that failed. But Space Ghost saw it and sent me a katana, so it worked out well, actually. And I do still think that one of these days I'll finish that off and regrind this and get this all sharpened up and have my little wakizashi. For now, it's on the mantle. Display item. So, I got some new knives. I don't have to show all of them, but I'll show you this. Excuse me. It's a Junglee. I hadn't even heard of them really, but I was looking for machetes, and I found this. It's second hand, so I guess Junglee is. I don't think they exist anymore, or if they do, it's, you know, someone just kept up with the brand, but it's not what it was. So this is a Seiki, Japan. Can't really show the whole thing. There we go. I can show the whole thing, just about. It's kind of a weird shape, but I'll tell you what. In the hand, that's like a stretch buoy kind of thing. It's just fierce. And I took it out and chopped some bittersweet vine, and I love it. I found my new favorite machete. Oh, it's got a massive kink in it. It weebles off to the left there. Well, I was bending it over the knee. It's actually much improved. I was mostly able to bend it out, and I'm glad, because I was thinking I'd have to hit it with the carbide hammer, but look at this finish. I should take some more footage of this in the daylight. It's got this bronzed kind of finish. So it's really slick. It's a little, you know, it's a little dirty or whatever. Post-cutting. So what is this, like a 14-inch? Something like that. 15. Yeah, I think it's like a 14-inch cutting edge. Or cutting length. Cutting edge would be something else again. So, yeah, very pleased with that. But because of the thing with the fillet knife, right, so this kind of, actually the machete came out of the fillet knife, because I was like, well, can I find something that would be a little like this, but not quite so crappy? And, yeah, I got to finish it, but I don't think I probably will use it to destruction as I had intended. I might just grind it back into a fillet knife, because I realized while I was using it, it was the best thing ever. But that happens to me with whatever. While I'm using it, I'm like, wow, this thing's great. But then I pick up something else, like my Brazilian Bowie knife, since that one was out of commission. And this thing with the leather thong wrapped handle that it had on it was just so good, except for the handle comfort. So I started working up out of this extremely worm-eaten piece of oak burl my little coffin handle. And because Brazil, right, picked out the fat carbon. Yeah, so this piece, I want to make a little thing to pop in there, because I had to drill in both ways to tap the hole for the tang. Quite a project. Also, to get the pinholes aligned when you, yeah, been a bit of a labor of love over the past few days in odd moments figuring this out. And I mean, you know, it's not going to look like that much maybe at the end of the day, but the knife is phenomenal. This buoy is awesome. I really love it. And I realized that because I put this leather wrap handle on it, and it was really felt so good in the hand and gave such excellent grip, but it was just a little too skinny in use, and also the pommel was sticking out. So, you know, you couldn't get full use of the knife, you know. It was good for a temporary solution, but yeah, this is going to be nice. I'm quite happy with that. Thanks for watching.